Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ardila Mulia Putri. My register number is 17107390001. In this occasion, I would like to talk about the Detroit study. According to Shai and Wolfram in 1968, they follow up to that study that this study have some findings that worthy to the comment in the present context. This study also displayed that there is a very close relationship between multiple statement and social class, whereas the upper and middle class speaker use such a negotiation on about 2% of the possible occasion. This study also examined that the use of multiple negotiation as a linguistic variable in that city. So the question is, what is multiple negotiation? Multiple negotiation is the collection of two negative elements that contradict each other to produce an affirmative interpretations as the result. Meanwhile, linguistic variables is a values of words or sentence in natural and artificial language. Whereas the corresponding percentages for the other class were like lower middle class is about 11%, upper working class is about 38%, and lower working class is about 70%. It is not that member of the upper middle class always avoid multiple negotiation and member of the lower working class always employ it. It may be our feeling that such is the case, but the fact do not support that feeling. No class uses one variant of the variable to the rejection of the other, regardless of the circumstances. Speech in any social classes, therefore, is inherently variable, just as it is in the society as a whole. However, the analysis of different variables that were investigated in this Detroit study clearly show that although individuals showing a certain amount of incompatibility in their linguistic behavior, there is, however, a form to that behavior. Let us look at an example. As the situation becomes more formal, in individuals' linguistic usage come closer to the standard usage, and the higher social class of the speaker, the more standard too is the speaker's behavior. For example, like children are less standard in their linguistic behavior than adults. How about although children and adults come from similar social background, and also in this case also the same like male are less standard than females. For example, like when males introduce themselves in front of the people, maybe they just say like, "Hello, my name is Adam," and meanwhile with females, the way they introduce themselves is more like, "Hello, let me introduce myself," or like, "I would like to introduce myself. My name is Samantha," for like that. So in this example, we can conclude that male less standard than females, whether they come from similar social background or social class. Alright, now we are going to the statistic. So we can see that the statistic above is about percentage of the absence in third person singular present tense agreement in the third black speech. So the percentage of the absence is from 0 until 100, and the classified class is upper, middle, lower middle, upper working, and lower working class. So after distinguishing the classify, Wolfram then tried to show the contrary characteristic of linguistic behavior. He examined four phonological variables such as elimination of the final word consonant cone, middle, and final t, as in the word nothing and path. He also analyzed four grammatical variables such as the zero copula, as in he tired in variant B, as in he be tired, as the suffixes, as in girls, boys, and girls, and multiple negation. There is no significant differences between the two groups and between the upper middle and the lower middle classes. It also the same like between the upper working and the lower working classes. So we may conclude from the tables that there is a high significant differences happens between upper middle, lower middle class, and upper working and lower working class. Wolfram's general finding in Detroit where the social status was the single most important variable, connect with linguistic differences with the clear last limit being between the lower middle and upper working classes. In each class, however, females use more standard language forms than males. Older subjects also use less symbol forms that did younger subjects. Finally, reading style showed that the most deviations of all from standard language forms. Overall, we can conclude that the linguistic behavior of individuals form a continuum in the same way that social organization is continuous. So, social classes are construct imposed on this continuum. If linguistic variation is correlated with the average behavior of individuals in these classes, it will show class differences. I think that's all that I can explain. I do apologize if I do some mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.